Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Meeting Gold podcast. We're excited to have you back. We're just keeping on the grind. That's it. Just consistency. Number one thing about podcasts, social media, it's all about consistency. We've got a really cool guest. You know, Ahmed, we were talking a little bit about before we came on the camera. I find a lot of people or podcasts, they like to have the most experience, 25 years in the industry, just in the podcast, and they never give a good perspective from a rookie coming in, learning and hearing their strategies, what they think is going to work, and then comparing those 3 years down the line. I think it's really cool to kind of hear, and I think a lot of people are going to benefit from hearing your strategies as a new realtor coming in. What are you doing? How are you marketing? How are you generating leads? And then how are you prepping for the paperwork? Because that's another big one. Yeah. But first, give us a little rundown of who you are and what you do.
First of all, thank you.
Of course.
Amazing opportunity to come on and kind of just talk and get things going. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a leap, to kind of go into a business that's knowing that, it's going to be very competitive and, it takes a lot of hard work and really trying to put your name out there. And like you said, I'm, a new realtor, so I kind of have to, go into this understanding that it's going to take a lot of hard work and, don't expect the best at the beginning. And I think that a lot of new realtors need to know that as well, going into this business, or any business in that matter, to be honest. Like, a business is a business, right?
Yeah.
If you want to, stand out in a competitive market, right, where there is a lot of competition out there, you have to give value. You have to really put yourself out there and give yourself a value. That way you can stand out, right? And,
100%.
And for me, it's like, going into this, I want to utilize what's, the most expanding, if you will, thing that's going on right now in real estate. And that is social media, right? And just utilizing it, man. Like this is a great opportunity, right?
Like we said, consistently working at it.
This is part of really putting yourself out there, marketing yourself. And the best way to do it is through social media.
Yeah,
especially
100%. Yeah. So, Ahmed, where did the idea of becoming a real estate agent come from? And why did you choose, like what's the end all be all goal? Real estate's going to give me financial freedom. Real estate's going to give me a bunch of properties, because I think a lot of people can relate to why you got in.
Yeah, that's honestly a really great point that, real estate gives you that opportunity, gives you that advantage. But the real reason why I kind of got interested is last year, actually, I was working in sales. I was doing door knocking, door to door. And,
oh my God.
In winter, yes. So I started, I think it was October, and then I left December. But
what were you selling?
I was just going door to door and basically was working for a company that was in St. Catharines.
Yep.
And basically what we do is try to get people to subscribe to monthly memberships for charities. So
gotcha.
At that point, I was working with Sick Kids Hospital and, would go door to door and just say, hey, we're working on expanding the hospitals and, the hospital does need a little help right now. Because of COVID, they need to expand to allow families privacies, all the stuff that was happening. It wasn't easy, right? Because you're in the winter. Right?
And door knocking. That is one of the biggest. So what sparked the want to get into something that is for so many people uncomfortable?
Right. So, for me, it was more like being open and having being very honest and open about, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the most important thing when it comes to sales, that you want to become a true, authentic person and not just, very salesy.
I'm selling a product type of thing.
My product, buy it from me.
Right.
No, that's not how you go about that. It's really about building a rapport and trying to get to know the person. And that's what I gained experience from door to door, sales.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like, hey, I'm doing something good at the same time. I'm not really selling you a product that, you're going to, use at home. I'm not selling you knives or anything.
Yeah, it's really for charities, yeah.
For charity, yeah.
And so was that like a motivating factor into getting into door knocking?
For sure. Like
gotcha.
that drive was every day kind
of
thing, exciting to go out there and, you know, get a sale and try to get, you know.
Yeah.
But also it's like not thinking about it like that. It's like I'm actually doing charity work at the same time.
Yeah, and you're building new relationships, right? And so I guess, you know, for a lot of new people, they hate pushing themselves outside of their comfort zone. And I guess for door knocking, that is a big thing that is out of a lot of people's comfort zone. In fact, I even struggle with that as well. I mean, I find myself being able to hide in front of the camera because there's less people, right? You might have a speaking background, but door knocking, that's a whole other beast. That's a whole other animal.
You're literally thrown into the wilderness when you're door knocking. You can't expect anything.
Yeah, because you're walking on somebody's property, knocking on the door, bothering them for the day.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how they look at it.
I've had the cops called on me once, you know.
Are you serious?
And I'm doing charity work, you know. It's not like I'm going to bother people. It's fine. You don't like it. No, thank you. Shut the door. But, you know, some people are, you know, they're a bit, you know, edgy in that sense.
So
but the opposite is true. You find people who are awesome and amazing, and they're like, yeah, that's awesome. Sounds great. Like, I'm more than happy to help, right? So that's the thing with sales is like you get both worlds, and that teaches you a lot, you know, and that experience I brought into real estate.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something that's really going to help you in the long run. Not even just, you know, learning to door knock, if that's one of the ways you want to generate leads, but also, you know, just pushing yourself outside of something that you're not comfortable with.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what were some of the tactics and strategies that you used to sell these like part of the charities or a monthly subscription? Was it like, oh, hey, you know, how's it going today? Or, you know, like just simple stuff like to connect with somebody. What were some of the really detailed strategies that you used to sell more?
Mainly, you know, when I first joined, they gave everybody a script, right? It was an office of 20 people, right? And they would just hand out scripts and be like, here, memorize a script. Now, that's what everybody did. But the thing is, there was always people who sold more than the other people. Why? Because they brought in the charisma, they brought in the enthusiasm, they actually showed true intentions, right? And that's the most important thing when it comes to, you know, attraction and, you know, making people want to help you.
Yeah, gravitating people towards you, right?
So you can have the scripts all you want. I can give you scripts about real estate right now, right? If you want a seller, call them up and, you know, convince them to sell your house or whatever. I can give you a script, but it doesn't matter if you don't have that connection built, right? And, you know, just showing the person who you truly are, right? And how you're going to help them and provide service to them, then it's kind of like they're going to be on the edgy side.
Yeah.
You know? And that came, you know, that whole thing, understanding that came through door knocking. And,
and I think that's the biggest thing is even at such a young age, you understand how people kind of interact with one another, how they react to you saying certain things and not saying certain things and what you could have said better. And I think that's a really cool experience. I mean, obviously we would encourage everybody to door knock because you would learn a million things and what to do, what not to do, and you know what you're good at. But, you know, not everybody can do that. So I guess what are some tactics? Let's talk a little bit more now real estate. So you're a new realtor, right? This is your first year. What are some tactics that you plan to use or that you are using? You know, you don't have to be using them right now. You can say, oh, I'm planning to use this. But what are some of the tactics really in depth? You know, if it's of social media, what specific inside of social media would you use?
Well, here's the thing. Like for me, I like to, you know, give my people, not my people, but like my followers, a value, right? So things that I like to do, for example, is like working out.
You work out every day.
I work out every day. I try to work out every day.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. But, you know, you keep in mind to take a rest day. We'll go into fitness later on.
Of course.
For me, with social media, I want to give the people who truly, you know, follow and are interactive with me a value, of something of value. And one thing that I realized lately is some of my friends were asking me, hey, like, what can you tell me about, you know, workouts? What kind of workouts do you do? What kind of, you know, sets and how many reps do you do? This and that. And it's just so many questions. I was like, hey, you know what? Let me just start making workout videos. I'll literally take my camera and film every exercise I do and kind of make it into a video. Now, I know nothing about internet and computers and all this, all that editing. Like, that wasn't my gig. But, you know, like, now with apps, you could just...
It's easy. TikTok, videos, Instagram Reels, you're good.
There you go. You plug it in the video, you edit it, you do it. It's just 2 seconds, you know, and you just put that out there and that kind of creates the value of like taking care of that.
Yeah, and so it also sounds like that it helped with your credibility as well. Not necessarily, maybe not right away credibility inside of real estate, but credibility in that you're consistent with what you do. Right. So when people work with you in real estate, it's because they want to work with you. It's not because a lot of people can sell a home, especially right now in this market. Right. Are you the person I want to work with? Are you going to make my life easier? Are you going to make it less stressful? All that kind of stuff. So I guess the fitness side of things builds your credibility in that niche market of, hey, I do the marketing on my own. You know what? My plan is do more, be more consistent. That's what you're doing. And it helps you build those relationships inside of, let's say, the gym. So I guess, would you suggest to, new realtors, find like one thing that you enjoy, like for example, working out, and then try to figure out how to leverage that?
Could be anything.
So then how are you leveraging the gym, your social media platform already, what you're doing, and kind of bringing that into real estate, for any new realtors or people wanting to get into real estate?
So part of, having that is being consistent. Right. And consistency is key. That's the way you started off the podcast, saying consistency and, all the hard work. That's great. If you're not consistent, people are seeing that and they're realizing, hey, this person is not consistent at something, right? But if you're showing, consistency and hard work and just, constantly posting and keeping people entertained and, attracting them towards you yourself, the human, not the salesperson, right?
Yep.
That brings in the value. And that's where, people are going to start to realize, hey, you know what? This guy seems genuine, right? He's hardworking, and he doesn't, like puts himself on a pedestal and like really takes himself up there, like as if he's something, a big shot. No, he's here giving you a free content, right? I could, if you want to think about it, I could make private programs and charge people money and be like, hey, subscribe to my
start a course.
Exactly. Start a course, subscribe to my, workout plan. I'll give you a workout plan for this much, $9.99 a month, whatever. Right. But no, I don't feel like I need to do that. It's just, I'm literally doing what I'm doing, but I'm just filming it. Right. And that's where I think I'm going to take that into real estate as well. Anything that happens in real estate, whether I get a listing or whether I get a happy buyer who bought a house and they're excited, I want to put that out there and be like, hey, listen, these people, they feel great. They feel excited. They feel, ambitious, and they're, they see the value in the service that I bring, the consistency that I bring. Yeah. Right. And that's kind of like putting the word out there in that sense. Yeah.
Now, okay, I want to ask you one thing. I'm sure you've had a big realization moment. I think everybody thinks anytime they get into a new career, they think, oh, it's going to be easy because I'm just going to do this. Mm-hmm. I think every single person thinks that way, right? I did when I started my business. I'm sure you did right before you got into real estate. Everybody does, right? Yeah. What was the biggest wake-up call for you getting into real estate, being a new agent, that you want to shed light on to let some people that are thinking about getting into real estate know?
Right. So here's the thing. Especially for new business owners, new realtors, starting something new, you have to go into this understanding that, not everything's going to be rainbows and sunshine at the beginning. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of consistency. And that's what I, kind of had in the back of my mind. I was like, hey, you know what? You go into this business, you might get blessed, right off the bat. But that doesn't mean it's going to be off the get-go. You're doing, 60 deals a year, or, some crazy number like that. You have to keep in mind, like, hey, this takes time. This takes consistency. This takes a lot of effort, right? And once you have that in mind, you're kind of comfort, you're not stressing.
Right.
You can focus on doing what your originally planned was, like the whole, putting your name out there and marketing yourself. That is going to become more priority than stressing and worrying. And, like you kind of going into this, like, how many podcasts are there? Thousands and thousands
exactly,
of podcasts,
right?
Yeah. So you got to keep that in mind. Like, hey, I have to pick something. I have to pick a niche. I have to start, interviewing a bunch of people, as many people as I can get.
Yeah.
Right? And
I like what you said. Sorry to cut you off, but you find something that you want to just hammer at, whether it's like being that, and this goes back to, I guess, your personality on the internet. I mean, I use Logan Paul as an example, or the Paul brothers, right? Right. They're always out there. They're wanting to, start something, controversy. That's their biggest promotion for, getting
yeah.
big, I guess, right? That's how they get all these boxing matches and everything, right? So I guess it comes back to finding your personality and then being like, how do you leverage that? So, theirs might be controversy and they might be want to just tick people off just a little bit to get them on camera with them, right? And so, for me or for you, it's more networking on a deeper level, actually asking those deeper questions to help other people. Because I think, one thing that everybody wants to know more of is how to do something, right? People will consume content 24/7 that says, oh, this is how you do that. This is how I do it. This is how you can do more of it, all that kind of stuff. I mean, why is YouTube so big, Instagram so big, TikTok, everything, right? So I guess, have you kind of realized that even just through the fitness account? I mean, like I saw you post really consistently on your TikTok.
Yeah.
Especially, lifting weights, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I try to do, consistently, but, obviously now with situations with the lockdowns, this and that, it's been kind of on and off. But as much as I can, man, whenever I'm in the gym, I take my camera out, I post it, and I just put it out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always have in the back of my mind, like, hey, this is going to bring value to people. And that's true. Like right now, the latest one I posted on my Instagram Reels, when I go to see the stats, it says that, 20 people saved this video. That means that 20 people are invested in this and, want to keep this record for later. So when they go work out, I think I put out a back workout, a pull day. It was a pull day. So when they go work out now, they could just pull up the video, watch it and be like, oh, okay, I could do this and then do this exercise and then followed by this. And, that brings value. Great. Perfect.
Now, do you think that I see a lot of potential in the fitness side of what you're doing to help almost build a personnel of this is what I do, but this is how I can connect with people. So like, I think like, do you see yourself having a lot of clients that are gym orientated, like tougher guys or girls that are really just like, at the gym constantly working on themselves? Because I think that helps you relate to a lot of them, right?
Well, for me, I've been going to my gym for about 4 or 5 years now. So I've kind of built a relationship with a lot of people there. And, it's just kind of like very friendly and we're there to just work out. I'm very the type of just like kind of go in there and saying hi to everybody, but mainly focusing on the workout and putting in that work, right? Because it's easy to get distracted a lot, especially when you're at the gym. But having those content out there provides value, right? And that's what we're talking about. Is like this niche for me is something that I love doing and I do every day. So it's perfect for me, right? And you might be into cooking, for example, right? You love cooking, like everything, right? Take a video, one of these cameras, put them in the kitchen, film yourself cooking.
Providing value.
Cooking is like value.
Okay. So you kind of mentioned, at the gym, and I like to equate how you work out at the gym, all that kind of stuff, to your business life and what's that to come. Now I want to ask you, what are maybe like 2 or 3 tips that you would give somebody to stay focused, not necessarily at the gym, but just in general, getting something done? How can I stay focused if I want to finish editing a video? Like, what are some tips that I can use to just stay in my chair, not get distracted by my phone, and stay on the computer and edit? Like, what would you suggest?
Here's the biggest thing when it comes to, again, going back to the word of consistency.
Yeah.
It's here's the thing. The way I look at it is, if you need motivation to do something, there's something wrong.
I love it. Right? Yep, that's true.
If you feel like you need to be motivated to go get off the couch and go to the gym, that means there's something wrong fundamentally that you need to fix. And the best way to fix it, right, is to put it, like, just take action, right? That's the best way to put it, is just get off the couch. The hardest thing for me at the beginning, when I first started to work out or anything, started this business, was taking action.
Yeah.
The hardest thing for me at the beginning of my gym adventure was getting to the gym, because I know once I got to the gym, I'm working out.
Yeah.
So
it's not like you're just going to sit there. Yeah.
Exactly. If you could just block everything for a split second, get dressed, get in the car, and drive to the gym. Once you're at the gym, that's it.
You've done it.
You've done the hardest part of the whole thing.
So setting little goals for yourself, like almost setting a goal to get up off the couch, right? And just get dressed. Just do that. Just get dressed. Yeah, and then after you're done getting dressed, set a goal to get to the car.
No, don't even. No, I wouldn't say set a goal. I would just be like, just block everything.
Yeah.
Like literally that thought, ignore it completely.
Right.
Get dressed, take your headphones, get in the car, and drive to the gym.
It's almost
Once you're
like,
there-
you blindly do. It's like, I compare it to cliff jumping.
Exactly.
I hate heights. I hate it.
Oh, same.
When it comes down to, but like I love cliff jumping, right? So I'm standing on top of this 25-foot cliff,
Right.
and I'm like, no, right? I'm saying I'm gonna do it, and then I don't do it.
There you go.
And it's like you just,
Yeah.
I can't explain it. You just have to do it. It's
then-
almost like you take a blind walk off the step.
Right,
Like,
right.
because you don't let your mind control you. You
Yes.
just let your body keep going. Your body needs to keep walking to the car or walking to the doors of the gym,
Yeah,
right? It's the same idea.
Same concept of like literally what you said. It's just like once you get to the gym, it's kind of like now you jumped off the cliff, and now the excitement kicks in, the adrenaline and the just the happiness just kicks in, right? Same thing happens, like especially those days. I don't know why, but like those days where you don't feel like you want to go to the gym, and you actually go to the gym, you'll have the best workout of your life. You'll leave there feeling like just the most powerful human being alive, right? It's so great and so fulfilled.
It really motivates you, right?
It does. And that's the one thing is just like you have to go through the pain and suffering of, the whole workout, but then at the end there's a big reward.
And I guess, it speaks truly to how you were raised, to how you grew up, because it's not this, instant gratification, quick mindset type thing where it's like, oh, I'm just going to get whatever the hell I want. No. No. It's not like that.
No.
You know that you got to do the time in order to
man.
get the crime,
Exactly.
right?
You gotta be persistent.
Yep.
You gotta love what you do. And if you feel like it's being forced, then there's something wrong, right? That means you need to take action. You need to change it, right? And the funny thing is that, us humans were built very, very weird in the sense of like we love, we get easily attracted to flaws. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of bad habits are easier to do than good habits.
Which is interesting, eh?
Right. Like you see a lot of people very easily doing bad habits and very easy, like for example, drinking, smoking, doing a bunch of crimes, whatever, right? It's very easy for people to do that. But it's hard for people to do good things like taking care of themselves, being consistent, working on
Why
their
do you
purpose.
think that is? I mean, that's got to be something so deep in human nature that we just can't control. But why do you think that is for some people?
I think well, because the fact that it's easy to do, right? That makes it, not very challenging, right? It's very easy to go out and drink and party and waste your youth, right? Because everybody does it. It's fine. It's not really going to hurt you. Well, at least from then you'll think it won't hurt you at that point, right? But it will eventually. That's why it's like, that happens. But I think the most important thing to fix that is habit, right? Make a habit. Make a habit. Have a habit as something. Pick something. Make it your habit. Make sure it's obviously a good habit, right? You don't want to pick something bad and make that your habit. And stick to it, man. And naturally, it won't feel like it's being forced anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that I've kind of started to do was actually write down my goals or my aspirations, just even for the day, and actually blocking out time to do that. So, when I wake up, let's say I wake up at 7:30 in the morning, right? From 7:30 to 8, I allow myself to be in bed. I actually allow myself to just stay in bed awake. I set an alarm for 7:15. Right? Or 7 o'clock, and then say to myself, okay, that'll wake me up. Right. And then from 7 to 7:15, I allow myself to feel lazy. Meanwhile, I'm waking up an hour earlier than what I need to, right? What I normally do. Yep. So from 7:15 to 7:30, or from 7 to 7:15, I kind of feel a little bit lazy. That's fine. I allow myself to feel that way. But then come like 7:15, I'm sitting on my phone for 15 minutes and I feel useless. Right. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I have to go out and do something. So then I say, okay, no problem. I allow myself to stay in my bed, except this time I go into my notes and I say, okay, edit for 10 minutes, edit for 20 minutes, do 10 push-ups, do 5 push-ups, do 25. And I literally have a whole list of things that I want to get done for the day. And it's so simple because what's awesome is when I'm editing for, let's say 10 minutes, right? Once the timer goes, I'm already in a groove to keep going. Right? Okay. Just like you said, it kind of relates back to your point of if you can just get up, block out mentally, don't even think about anything. Don't even say, don't even try to convince yourself you have to do it. And don't try to convince yourself you can't do it. Exactly. Just get up, walk to the gym or, get up, walk to the computer, edit or work out or whatever you have to do. and just get it done, because you're going to grind farther and harder than what you thought you would.
Exactly.
Because you're happy that you're doing it. You're getting it done, right? You're being productive.
Yeah, it's very important to have a routine, right? And stick to that routine. And like you said, set alarms. Like there's no shame in that. Like for me, I have my alarm set at 6:30 a.m. every day, Monday to Sunday. There's no weekends off. There's nothing like that. I wake up 6:30 every day, right? And I have a routine. I wake up, I shower. You know, for me, I like to pray, so I'll pray in the morning. And then I'll have breakfast. And then from there, go to the gym.
It's like it's your morning time, right?
It is my morning time. It is just me time.
Yeah.
Right? There's no work happening. It's just me getting my breakfast in, getting my workout in. And then 8, 9 a.m., I'm working.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's taking phone calls, whether it's prospecting, door knocking, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is, generating leads. Yep.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Well, that brings us into our next topic.
Okay.
Let's, we're kind of coming up close to our time. We've got about like 10 minutes left. Yeah. Talk a little bit about lead generation. What are you doing now to generate new leads? Because I think this is important for a lot of new guys to understand.
Sure.
Coming from a guy that kind of already had the wake-up call of, oh, this is what real estate's about. Okay, no problem. Now I'm in it. I'm in it for the long run.
Yeah.
What kind of things would you suggest to people to do, and what kind of things are you doing?
Well, pick a niche, pick something, make it yours, right? And be the best at it. Right. Those are the, main important things to consider when you're, want to put your name out there and really stand out. And the second thing right now, nowadays, everything is social media oriented. Yeah. Right. Not to bash anybody who has billboards outside. That's fine. But if you want to catch more eyes and really grab people's attention,
in a cost-effective way.
You have to be on social media.
Right. And just posting everything.
Posting everything you're doing. Like literally just post everything, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I have my stuff that I like to post. Other people have their stuff they like to post, and, stick to it. Be consistent. The other thing is like use something or make something yours in the sense of like utilize what other people are not using. So for example, like for me, in this area, I don't see a lot of realtors using or making a lot of YouTube videos and home tours.
Right.
And, so for me, obviously I don't have anything there yet, but like I have a goal of mine to really grow my YouTube channel. Right. And post home tours and post educational videos about the Niagara region. Right. And, that kind of brings value as well in itself is like, first of all, I'm providing entertainment and education. Those are the two most important things, I think, when it comes to, growing your business, right, is really staying consistent to those two things. Right?
Yeah. And I think one of the coolest parts is the niche that you're in, even in the fitness niche as well. Like you have so much opportunity to create content there and just keep kind of, developing those relationships with people who are like-minded like yourself, because I think that's what people who they want to work with.
Right. Well, here's the thing, like guys, by all means, I'm not Mr. Olympia over here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not a crazy bodybuilder who's going to go up on stage tomorrow. Okay. Let's clear that up.
We could only post the audio clip and they would never know.
Exactly. Right. So, blur me out. But it's just like, for me, I like to work out because of the physical benefit.
Yeah.
Because I like the feeling afterwards. Not because, I'm trying to, impress anybody. No. It's just literally you're doing it for yourself. Right. And that's the way you should think about your business too. Do it for yourself. Pick a niche that you like and make that part of your business. Right. Because that's something that you could stay consistent to and not being forced to do. Right. That's a big difference. If you're feeling like you're being forced to do something for your business,
don't even do it.
Don't even bother. Some people hate door knocking. I've heard a lot of realtors hate door knocking.
Yeah.
To be frankly, like nobody really suggests, hey, go door knock.
Yeah.
Right. But for me, it's like, hey, you know what? I get to face. It's a very hot approach. It's like face to face, whereas like if you're talking on the phone, it's a very cold approach. It's like texting somebody. I feel like it's very cold. Not that I don't do these things. Of course I do these things, but
but there's different ways that you kind of learn to connect.
Exactly. It's just, reaching out friendly. Like, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm Ahmed. I don't know if you remember me or not. I did that, by the way, a lot with the people I used to work with, sick kids.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the people I gained from Sick Kids Hospital, like monthly donators, those people actually ended up replying back to me and be like, hey, Ahmed, I remember you from last year, right? You came to my door and we had a fun interaction and sure, here's my email, right? And take their email and put them in my CRM and there you go, I have a lead, right? Just out of something that I did very, consistently before.
Yeah.
And I kind of utilized that to myself.
So almost leveraging your past experiences
exactly.
with what you're doing now.
Exactly. And also
right?
the past people, like, cause you want to work with those people. You want to work with people who are, givers, right?
Yeah. And who know you too, right?
Exactly.
It's the hardest thing to
remember you.
convert a cold lead.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
you can't convert a cold lead.
I mean, that's part of like where you now have to really stand out and like
Yeah.
really put yourself out there, because then even a cold lead won't mind approaching you and be like, hey, I saw your thing here on Instagram or YouTube.
And then they'll become a warm lead.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the coolest part is, a cold lead is literally, I would consider a cold lead like just picking up the phone and calling a literal random number and say, hey, I'm a realtor. I can sell your house.
Yeah.
What's awesome is the content strategies almost allow people to feel warmer to that person. So you call them a warmer lead. I mean, they're not a hot lead, but they're a warm lead, right?
Yeah.
They learn to trust you on social media. They see what you're doing.
Yes.
And I think that's a cool way to kind of get your face out there, right? Because that's the ultimate goals.
Right.
I just want to get my face out there
Yeah.
and see where that goes.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's very, a big part of it when it comes to meeting those quote unquote random people.
Yeah.
Right. And once they see you as a person, not as a salesperson, right, then they'll know, hey, this is the guy to work with.
Right.
Right. Because I see what he does. Right. I see his work. I see his hard work. I see his ethics. I see his honesty. Right. And to be fair, I am the most honest person you're going to meet.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, not to get into it, but like I'm very open about everything, and I like to question everything. And I play devil's advocate in every conversation.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that. It was very interesting. Okay, so Ahmed, let me ask you to kind of wrap up here. What are your future goals in real estate?
Yeah.
But also maybe in fitness as well, because I'm really curious to kind of hear where you want to take that. Do you want to build up a personal brand with the fitness channel and merge it with real estate, or?
Yeah, it's more like I want to utilize that as a kind of a funnel,
almost
to
like a
my
compliment.
business.
Yeah.
It's going to create a funnel to my business, right? If I can help you by giving you free workouts on my social media that you can save and look at whenever you're working out, and that creates a funnel between me and my viewers, that is more than enough. Right.
It's so true. True.
But again, it's like you want to grow your business, right? So is it actually more than enough? I don't know. Like, the future, like I have plans for the future, obviously. But it's really kind of just focusing right now on what I like to do. Yeah. And make that.
And that'll lead.
Exactly.
Right. And that'll bring you business in the long run. Right.
Yeah,
it's like starting a podcast, right? Like you can't just expect it to bring you any business or anything like that in the first, I want to say 6 months.
No.
Right. Like it's a very long, drawn out process, similar to real estate.
I mean, bringing up the real estate conversation again, going into this, I knew that, a lot of realtors fail the first 2 years going into the business. I knew that as soon as I started to take the courses online, right? It's not like I was shocked by it at the end. That's the thing. Whatever business you're going into, make sure you do your homework. Understand what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. Right? And for me, I knew that in the back of my mind the whole time. I was like, hey, you know what? This is a very competitive field. The top 10% are doing it, right? The rest of them are struggling, right? Yeah. And I went into this knowing this, right? And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, right? And I'm taking, a little gamble. But as long as I provide content and as long as I'm consistent, I don't see it going any other way.
Well, I think that's really interesting. You have to basically know, all right, there's a chance that I couldn't, this would be hard, right? Like this could be a challenging thing. But if you know the challenges, or at least prepare yourself to be challenged, you're not going to drop out in the first 2 years, right? Just like every other, rookie realtor, because that is the hard truth about new realtors is a lot of them drop out. A lot of them cannot handle it, right? Sure. And so, I think it's cool that you can kind of recognize it, because a lot of them don't recognize that.
Part of it is getting yourself a great mentor.
Yeah.
Right. And having a person by your side, especially at the beginning. I think that's very, very important. Now, for some people, that means joining a team. Right. For me, I was like, hey, you know what? I have a little background. I'm okay with going solo, but that doesn't mean I don't have a mentor. I have a mentor there with me every single step. If I need anything, he's there with me. Right. If I need to fill out papers, he's there with me. Other stuff you could do, man, everything is online. That's what I'm trying to say. For me, I learned how to fill out contracts online. I paid for courses outside the course that I took for real estate. I paid for courses to learn about the deals and how to make how to fill out paperwork
Right.
during deals and what steps you need to take. That was all from me, right?
Yeah.
But even on top of that, having a mentor and somebody there by your side is great. Now with the brokerage I'm with, EXP, they kind of give you that. But, you know, they also give you kind of like a sponsor who is, you know, somebody who kind of like drafts you, if you will, right, into the brokerage, and they're there with you side by side, right? And you had him on, I think, last time.
Andrew. Shout out to Andrew Kulikowski.
Shout out Andrew. Great guy, honestly, like one of the best in the area. And, you know, me and him just, you know, constantly on the phone. Hey, quick question. Picks up the phone right away.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. What's up? I'm like, hey, how do you do this?
And I think that's it. That's the most important thing is find a mentor, find somebody that is very open to contacting you and actually enjoys talking to you, enjoys helping you and assisting you in everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course. And that goes to every businessman. You need a mentor. You need
I love
a
it.
trainer.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. Well, listen, Ahmed, I really appreciate you coming on today, brother. It was a great podcast.
Yes.
If this gave you a little bit of insight in, you know, what becoming a new real estate agent is like, some of the wake-up calls, some of the challenges, you know, some of the strategies, definitely give Ahmed a follow. He's going to be representing a lot of new people coming into the industry, but the best of them, right? And so where can we find you? Where can we follow you and contact you?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I got LinkedIn as well. Ahmed Romani or Romani Real Estate. Just type it in, Romani Real Estate. You'll find me there. Just like and follow. And by all means, feel free to message me about anything, whether it's real estate or not.
Even if you're thinking about getting into real estate and you're like, hey, I want to ask a new guy, how's he doing? You know, what's he thinking about it?
Yeah.
Give him a call, give him a DM, and he'd be happy to respond. Thank you everybody for listening and watching. Please make sure that if you did listen, please download the episode. It really supports us and shows that you want to hear more of stuff like this. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers. Thank you for listening to this week's Golden Guest on the Meeting Gold podcast. If you learned something from today's episode, make sure to check out our other content on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, make sure to leave us a follow while you're there. Thanks, and have a golden day.